people of the interwebs? It is Dan here, and welcome to your official NXT review and results for March the 8th, 2017, the first show in this final group of television tapings before NXT Takeover Orlando, live from the University of Central Florida. Tonight was a damn good show, man. Sorry I'm getting this review up a little bit later than I normally do. I know that I tried to get it up late Wednesday night, sometimes into the wee hours of Thursday morning, but I was so tired last night, man. I got off a long shift at my shit job, and I could not be asked to do anything at all. So I watched NXT early this morning, and now I am making the review as we speak at approximately 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So anyway, regardless, let's get into it. NXT, March the 8th, 2017, live from the University of Central Florida. The show opened up by hyping Shinsuke Nakamura's in-ring return tonight versus TJ Perkins. So I was very excited for the main event match tonight, as it would be Shinsuke Nakamura versus TJP in your main event. So the show opened up officially with my favorite person in NXT right now, Dillinger. You'll notice I was wearing his shirt during last week's NXT review. Dillinger is absolute money, man. He opened up the show versus Eric Young. Sanity come out. They're really starting to just scare the shit out of me, honestly. Eric Young sends the rest of Sanity to the back right off the bat. He says, "This is me and you, Dillinger." Looks in the ring, sends them to the back, says, "Dillinger, this is me and you and nobody else." And then a little bit into the match, just after Eric Young got into the ring before the bell even rang, Sanity drags out Roderick Strong, Ty's buddy. He's beaten, he's battered, his clothes are torn, he's just not looking good. He's in a bad way. No Way Jose comes out to assist Dillinger and Strong. Eric Young says, "You did that." He looks right at Ty Dillinger and says, "You did that." Jose and Ty go in no hesitation, all guns blazing, straight in on Sanity. Jose got wrecked by Killian Dane or Big Damo or whatever you want to call him. And then Ty got absolutely wrecked by Alexander Wolf and Eric Young. Then Jose took a beautiful double team move from Wolf and Killian Dane. It was almost like a drop kick to a side slam type move. I didn't know what it was. It looked pretty though, I'll say that. And then Ty caught Eric Young's wheelbarrow neckbreaker, and that was all she wrote. That was done. This match ended in a no contest. Then after this, they repeated that Nakamura would be in action tonight against TJ Perkins, and then they mentioned that next week, the NXT title will be defended by Bobby Roode against the man who ate Cassius Ohno. I'm only joking, of course. He'll be defending it against Cassius Ohno, but I don't know, man. I'm not so sure about Cassius Ohno at this point because, I've read up a lot more on what got Cassius Ohno released, and it was, weight control issues. It was issues with his body. They weren't thinking that he was taking care of his body enough. And now, he just doesn't look 100%. He did a sit-down interview later on in the show where he looked a lot better than he did when he returned to the ring. So he might have gotten back in shape a little bit for this next group of television tapings. But the last time that we saw him on television when he confronted Bobby Roode, he didn't look good, man. For his body type, he looks unhealthy. He doesn't, for his body type, he doesn't look good, man. So they reiterated that Bobby Roode will be defending the NXT title against Cassius Ohno. Then there was a little bit of an annoying segment with Billy and Peyton in the Performance Center. They were just being normal heels, starting shit with Ember Moon. They were walking around the Performance Center trying to find a place to hang their NXT Breakout Stars of the Year award. And then they walk in to see the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic trophy and think, oh, well, we need something like that. We need a big case. We need lights. They see Ember Moon in there. They start starting shit with Ember Moon. And then Ember Moon starts getting pissed off with Billie Kay. One of the trainers is like, "Come on, let her train, leave her alone." Then it was decided that Ember Moon would face Billie Kay in a match later on. And then actually, after they showed this promo with Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Ember Moon in the Performance Center, they showed a promo for Aleister Black also known as Tommy End, on the independent scene. If you didn't know, Tommy End's been signed to WWE for a while now, and they finally showed a promo for his new character, Aleister Black, who's going to show up in NXT soon, hopefully. He mentioned, I wasn't sure who it was. They showed like all the tattoos up and down his arm, looked very Corey Graves-esque, but then he said it's all going to fade to black. So I knew right from that point that it was a promo for Aleister Black, also known as Tommy End. Then we had our first proper match of the evening, Ho Ho Lun from the Cruiserweight Classic versus Andrade Cien Almas. And Andrade Cien Almas is actually getting over finally. Like, he's getting some hype from the fans. He's not coming out to crickets anymore. This heel run is really revitalizing Andrade Almas's NXT career. So, I love it, man. I love that they're actually allowing Almas to go out there and just do his thing and let him be who he is, an arrogant Mexican prick. So that's what he's good at, man. That is what he's good at. But I will say the only thing he's missing is he needs a mouthpiece. He needs a mouthpiece. He needs a manager there to help him, to basically be his Paul Heyman, essentially. And Ho Ho Lun came out, and honestly, I liked Ho Ho Lun a lot in the Cruiserweight Classic. So I was, I was looking forward to him being in action, but, he wouldn't get much offense in, as we'll see in a minute. Andrade Almas actually nearly got rolled up at the beginning of the match. He got distracted by the crowd chanting for Ho Ho Lun. The story of this match was that Ho Ho Lun was too weak and too small for Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade Cien Almas outweighed him by about 60 pounds. Ho Ho Lun was weighed in at like 155, and then I think Andrade Almas weighed in at like 218. So Andrade Almas had about the 60-pound weight advantage over Ho Ho Lun, and he just took the guy out in one hit. Ho Ho Lun went off the ropes, hit him with one clothesline right across the chest, took Ho Ho Lun completely inside out, put him down on the mat. Almas wins, picks the guy up, beautiful hammerlock DDT for the 1-2-3. Almas wins, nice and quick. That was the story of the match, is that Ho Ho Lun was just too weak for Andrade Cien Almas. Next, we had the match between Ember Moon and Billie Kay. Ember Moon had different contacts in for this match. She had like whitish blue with like red around the outside of the iris. It looked really nice. It looked kick-ass, but she had different contacts. And then later on in the show, she had her red contacts back in. So it was weird. It was weird because she went from like this whitish blue with the red outline, and then later on in the show, she had her red contacts back in. So anyway, they kept hyping again that she's never been pinned, never been submitted. The numbers game of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce was being used really early. It's getting a little annoying to me. It honestly is, because, I want to see these women be successful on their own and not have interference from each other in every single match that they have. I don't want this to be a Charlotte and Ric Flair 2.0. I don't want this to be like that. I don't want there to be interference every single match. So I want to see them win matches on their own here and there, not just have interferences every single time. Anyway, Ember Moon went for the Eclipse. This was a really good, just back and forth match in general. Billie Kay was getting her offense in. She was getting her hits in. She kept going for constant pinfalls on Ember Moon. She was getting some big shots in on Ember Moon earlier on in the match. But Ember Moon finally just hit a couple of big moves on Billie Kay. She went up to the top rope, and I was calling it the whole time. I was like, Peyton's going to knock her off. Peyton's going to knock her off. This is going to, just build to the end of the match whenever Peyton knocks her off from the Eclipse. But Ember goes to the top rope for the Eclipse. Peyton Royce goes up to knock her off. She pulls the fist on Peyton Royce. She's like, no. Then Peyton Royce backs down. She's like, whoa. I don't want none of this. She backs off. Then immediately, Peyton Royce backs down from the ring. Moon hits the Eclipse for the 1-2-3. Ember Moon wins. I was wondering, could the closing bit of that final sequence cause dissension between Billie Kay and Peyton Royce? Because Peyton Royce just backed down immediately and wasn't even willing to fight while her best friend was in her best friend was in the ring, trying to fend off this competitor. So, Nigel mentioned after the match that he feels that the Eclipse is the one and only finish that could put away any woman in the women's division. Teasing things to come, I hope. Then, after a couple of minutes of them talking, we then pan back to the ring. Billie Kay is laid out in the ring. She hadn't moved since taking the Eclipse from Ember Moon. She was pointing to her neck. There was a ref. There were a couple of doctors in there. Peyton Royce was in there. The commentators got a very somber tone to their voice. The whole works. So, and honestly, this was just building up the power and the impact of the Eclipse as a move. And, Nigel was saying, oh, well, I saw her in the Performance Center earlier in the week, practicing this on other girls. Both of them had to be stretchered out of the Performance Center after taking it, blah, blah, blah. This is simply to build up the Eclipse as a powerful move. And, Billie Kay actually fooled a lot of the fans. Like, she sold that really damn well. She had a lot of the fans thinking that she was legit injured. But again, this is just building up the Eclipse as a powerful and impactful move. This is not a legit injury, trust me. Then we had the Revival come out. Always good to see the Revival. They came out versus the Ely brothers. And I actually remember the Ely brothers. You remember that whole Nakamura-Joe feud where Joe was coming out every single week and just taking out talent that was in the ring? That's what the Ely brothers were for. They were one of the acts that got taken out by Joe during his Nakamura feud. But then they got taken out again because they were set to take on the Revival, but then Authors of Pain come out and take them out on the ramp. The Revival run away. Authors of Pain hit the last chapter, and that was pretty much it. They're yelling at the Revival outside of the ring. By the way, I saw a JD Get Off My TV t-shirt. I saw the Roman Reigns one, to be specific. I saw the Roman Reigns Get Off My TV t-shirt. I thought that was hilarious. And I noticed that JD was freaking out on Twitter. He was like, no fucking way. No way did my t-shirt make it onto NXT. But yeah, it did. And by the way, I just want to point this out. Speaking of merchandise, the new Authors of Pain shirt looks sick, by the way. I might have to get myself one of those. Seriously, that shirt that they were wearing that says War is Our Peace with AOP on the back, that looked epic, man. I'm going to need to get me one, for sure. Then William Regal makes the title match official between Ember Moon and Asuka at TakeOver Orlando. He's standing right there with Ember Moon, and he's like, I want to tell, while I'm standing here with Ember Moon personally, that it will be Ember Moon versus Asuka for the NXT Women's title at TakeOver Orlando. And then Ember Moon says that the women's division will begin a new phase. As in moon phases, because her last name's Moon. Get it? Tee-hee. Moon phases. The women's division will enter a new phase. Anyway. Next, we had Tom Phillips in the Performance Center, sitting down with Cassius Ohno, and no, he did not face-fuck the shit out of him. Tom Phillips is never going to be able to live that down. I swear to God, Tom Phillips will not be able to live that down. But he had a sit-down interview with Cassius Ohno. Essentially, long story short, Cassius Ohno was saying that the last time he was here, he never got an opportunity at the NXT Championship, that was the only thing that he doubts himself about in his career, is the fact that he never got an opportunity and that he never won it. And that was essentially the point of this promo. There was a bunch of other filler talking about, oh, well, it's great to be back, blah, blah, blah. Then after that, they went to Bobby Roode in his home via satellite. Roode said that Ohno came in and put his stink on his NXT just as he has taken it to the next level. He says that as champ, he has a responsibility to shape the brand as he sees it, and he asks Phillips if he would rather have the champ look like him or some dirty, washed-up hippie from the 70s. He says that the fate and future of NXT is in his hands, says that he will walk out with his title around his waist and walk into TakeOver Orlando in the main event of WrestleMania weekend, says that he will continue to take NXT to another level and continue to make it glorious. So there you have it. Bobby Roode acting like a badass. After that, he said, you know what else is stupid? You know what's stupid? These cameras in my face and all these men in my house that I don't want here. Get out of here. So, great segment there with Bobby Roode. Looking like a badass as usual, just let free on the mic for a promo. That was great. And then it was time for the main event of the night, TJ Perkins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in his return to the ring. The fans miss Nakamura. What can I say? The fans really missed him. So that's all I can say on that. The entrances were pretty cool. Tom Phillips questioned why Shinsuke Nakamura took this match instead of his contracted rematch for the title right off the bat in his first match back. Simple reason, he wanted to see if the knee would hold up. He wanted to see if the knee was doing all right, and that is all. This crowd had the worst singing of Nakamura's music ever. Like, I mean, I know that that's like an over thing to do, and that Nakamura's song is like was the number one seller on iTunes or something like that. I get that whole deal, but you don't need to have it sound that bad. This was the worst ever. They could not carry a tune in a 10-gallon bucket. It was so bad. But TJ Perkins was absolutely electric in this match. He was on fire. Absolute night and day difference from Monday Night Raw. This was the best that I've seen TJ Perkins since the Cruiserweight Classic. And honestly, he looked so good in this match. And what more can I say? They're making him look like a glorified jobber on Monday Night Raw. And in this match, he actually looked like a legit badass. He had a good hot start to the match. The story of the match was, will Shinsuke Nakamura's knee hold up? Will TJ Perkins be able to lock in the knee bar? Will he be working the leg of Shinsuke Nakamura? That was the story of the match. And indeed, TJ Perkins was looking to, hurt Nakamura's leg in a bad way. And TJ Perkins actually got some momentum here with a beautiful leg DDT. He just scooped Nakamura's leg up and snapped it right down to the mat. Gorgeous leg DDT. TJ Perkins actually got a near fall on his apron drop kick into a springboard DDT combo on Nakamura. The DDT looked a little bit sloppy, but that's all I got to say on that one. Nakamura missed the double knees in the corner, making a comeback, and his knee went into the top turnbuckle. Again, focusing on the knee here. That was the story of this entire match. TJ Perkins took advantage with a drop kick to the knee from the top rope immediately after. Then there was a submission battle, swapping submissions back and forth, armbar into armbar into armbar. There was a triangle choke from Nakamura. TJ Perkins got kind of a cloverleaf type sharpshooter hold, sort of like Scorpion Deathlock hold on Nakamura, and then he went straight into the knee bar, but Nakamura made it to the bottom rope. Then Nakamura got a couple of knee shots off on TJ Perkins, got him into the corner, did the knee to the gut, rolled out, inverted exploder suplex, Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke Nakamura wins the main event in his return to NXT television. Honestly, on free NXT television, this is the best Nakamura match that I've seen. I mean, like a lot of people may say, Balor versus Nakamura was better, but I've got to say this one probably just beats it out because it was just non-stop action. The first minute and a half or so was just like rest holds and them feeling each other out, but after that, it was just non-stop action right up until the end. And then Regal in his office after that match announces that the winner of next week's title match will go on to face Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT Takeover Orlando 1-on-1. It will not be a triple threat, at least not at this point, like many people were thinking it would be. So that was your NXT from March the 8th, 2017. Damn good show. This was a great show. And NXT TakeOver Orlando, man, it's shaping up to be a really good show because, it's looking like we're going to get either Bobby Roode or Cassius Ohno versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT title. It's looking like we're going to get Ember Moon versus Asuka for the NXT Women's title. They might be booking a triple threat tag match between DIY, The Revival, and the Authors of Pain for the NXT tag titles. We'll probably be getting Ty Dillinger with No Way Jose and maybe Roderick Strong against Sanity in some capacity. And then maybe one or two other matches mixed in there on the card. So this is looking like a really, really good card for NXT TakeOver Orlando. They're building it up really well. This is how you build for a pay-per-view special, WWE. Look to your developmental territory. But anyway, that is pretty much it for your NXT review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button down below. Also, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite part of NXT was. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most from NXT TakeOver Orlando. Just let me know things and stuff in general of what you're thinking about with NXT and TakeOver Orlando. And also, do not forget to click the little red button down below and subscribe so that you get so that you never miss a video, and ring the bell so you get automatic notifications anytime that I do anything here on YouTube.com. Also, do not forget to share the video if you can. That's all from me. Thank you so much again for watching. You guys keep yourself safe, and I'll see you at a later date. Farewell.